Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and this is my review and reaction to my predictions for Gameweek 1 in the Premier League. We are gonna see how much of the predictions that I made were correct and how many of them I got wrong. Of course, we are gonna continue our game that we have been playing in all the leagues, all the entire prediction. If it is right, the score and the team winning, I will get 3 points. But if the score is not correct, but the team that I picked to win is right, I get 2 points. And of course, if none of them are right, I don't get any points. I have already uploaded the videos regarding La Liga and League 1, and I am doing now this for the Premier League. The Serie A one will come, and of course, because Bundesliga is starting tomorrow, the videos for that are gonna start popping up on your screen as well from my channel. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see all of those videos. Moving on to the video, the first game of the Premier League this season was Manchester United versus Fulham. I went with a 2-1 Man United win because I said that also that it is going to be a late goal that is going to get the win for United, and it is kind of what the game was like, kind of what I expected. Both teams are really trying to get it on. Like, it was quite an entertaining game. Both sides, I would say that would be very happy with the way that they played. I have predicted a top 10 finish for Fulham because I think the signings that they have made have been really good, and they have not stopping. They are continuing to transfer, making transfers, and good transfers as well. So I think they are gonna get better. They were really good in the first game as well, but I would say Manchester United were really good. I think they should have won with a bigger margin. If I'm being honest, Bruno Fernandes, he got like 2 good chances in the first half. He should have scored both of them, but Leno had a really good game for Fulham. And then to cap it off for United, it was the debutant Xerxes who got the goal. So like, that's a good thing for them, for a debutant to go out and get the important goal that gets the victory. So my prediction for the team was right, but not the score. So I start with 2 points. The next game was Ipswich Town versus Liverpool. I predicted a 2-0 Liverpool win, and that's exactly what happened. Like, I knew that Ipswich were gonna be, the atmosphere was gonna be very good because it's their first game in the Premier League after so long, and the fans are gonna be up for it, and the players are gonna be up for it. And you saw that in like the first 10-15 minutes, they were really aggressive. They were really getting into the game. But then as the game went on, Liverpool got into their own and they started to get the rhythm, and then you could see the difference in class. And of course, when you have a player like Mohamed Salah, you always got a chance again, scoring a goal, getting the assist on the first day of the season. Like, it has become sort of Premier League heritage sort of thing that Salah has to score on the opening day fixture. And with what I have seen, like, I've predicted Liverpool to finish at 6th position. I know it's a sort of a bold prediction to make, but I think the squad that they have, and I keep on saying this, a lot of people are saying that it's a very good squad, and I agree, they have a very good squad, but because they have not really added to their squad, I think that could become a hindrance for them as the season moves along. But that day they were like, it was a very easy win for them. Like, Ipswich really didn't pose any threat to them, and as I said, 3 points for me, as it was quite a good prediction. And the next game was my team, Arsenal versus Wolves. I predicted a 3-0 victory. Arsenal won 2-0, so that's 2 points for me. And again, I would say it was quite an easy game for Arsenal. Like I said in my preview as well, that the Wolves have lost Kilman, they have lost Neto. So the it factor that Wolves had last season, they're really missing it this time around, and it showed in that game as well. Like for a long moments, like a lot of time, it felt like Arsenal were only in their like a second gear. They really did not play to their full potential, and they won the game easily. Havertz gets the first goal, and Saka, I mean, amazing game from him. He's continuously proving that he's a world-class player. Of course, a lot of rival fans don't agree to it, and they try to mock him and whatever, but it keeps on showing that he's a world-class player. A goal and an assist, and what a great goal that was for him as well. So Arsenal get the points, I get the points as well, and we move on. And then Everton versus Brighton, and that was the game that I really got wrong. I went with a 2-1 win for for Everton, because my thinking was that it is a new game, a new manager coming in the league in Husler for Brighton, and I think it is gonna take him a time to settle down. And I thought Everton, being at home, being at Goodison Park, they could they could go out and get a good result from him. I thought it was going to be a close game, and I said Brighton will score goals, and they did score goals. Everton, of course, they got a red card, and that sort of helped Brighton in a way, but again Brighton were really good, and I think it's a great start for Husler, and he's gonna have a good season here. I have predicted a mid-table finish for Brighton, and I am gonna stay with that prediction. But they were really good in that regard. Of course, I don't get any points in that game. Everton, I would still say they are not gonna have that much of a problem that as compared to last season. I don't think they are gonna be in a relegation battle. I think they will finish mid-table, lower half of mid-table. But I think they are going to be safe. It was like a very clumsy challenge from Ashley Young to make and to get that red card. There is a little bit controversy about it, but I think it was a right call to send him off. And after that, like Brighton were already really good, playing really good football. And to be fair, Everton were playing good football as well. It's not like they were not, even after going to 10 minutes, they were really good. So I think they are going to be good. That game, of course, did not go as they planned. Moving on to the next game, it is Newcastle versus Southampton. I went with a 3-1 Newcastle win. I thought it was going to be quite an easy game for Newcastle, being at home, and with the signings that they have made and the preseason that they had, I thought it was going to be quite an easy game for them. And as I said, I have predicted Southampton to survive. I don't think they are going to get relegated, and I thought that, but I said that it is going to be tough for them going to Newcastle United. And if you look at the game, it was quite quite an interesting match. Even before Shah got the red card for Newcastle, Southampton created a lot of good chances, and even after getting the red card, when he got the red card, and the amount of chances that Southampton were making, I was sure that Southampton are gonna get the win, but they were not able to finish them off. And credit is due to Newcastle United, that they defended really well, and when they got their one chance, they finished it off. Joelinton, he's like a very good goal for him. And as I said, they knew that the chances that they're gonna get are going to be very few, and so that they really pushed on it, and they got the win. And I think it's an important win for them, first game of the season at home. And to be very honest, Southampton are like a relegation battling team, so you can't really expect them to lose to them on the opening day at home as well. So it's important for Newcastle, especially because they are trying to get back into the Champions League. The next game is Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. I went with a 0-0 boring draw, but it was not a boring draw. It was quite an interesting game, quite an entertaining game. Both sides trying to go one up ahead and trying to get the win, that all important win. These games are going to be very crucial. I have Nottingham Forest going down this season, and I have Bournemouth falling down at the table. I have had them surviving. I don't think losing losing Solanke is a big deal, but I think they still have a good enough score to stay up. They are going to have problems for that for getting the goals, and I said that in the preview as well, that these are the type of games where Solanke would pop up and score a goal that would get them the 3 points, or would get them a point. And I think that was missing this time around. I think both teams would be disappointed, and in a way both teams would accept it, that it was a fair result, because both of them created a lot of chances. You can say Nottingham Forest could be a little bit more disappointed, because they were the home teams and their chances were like more threatening as compared to Bournemouth. But I would say it's a fair result, and another 2 points for me, because I predicted a draw. The next game was West Ham versus Aston Villa, and like this was the game that I was really unsure about, because I think both of them are going to have a good season. I have taken like major bold predictions on this. I have West Ham finishing in 6th, and I think I have Villa finishing in 4th. I think both of them are going to have a good season, and then to have both of them play in the first game, and that's why I went for a 2-2 draw. Villa won the game, but I would say that West West Ham fans would be really happy with the way the team played. You could see already the effect the new signings are making, and the new manager Lopetegui, how what he's trying to do. I think they are gonna have a good season. They should have drawn that match. In my opinion, they had a good amount of chances to draw that game, but Villa, I would say, deservedly, in my opinion, won the game. Unai Emery continues to impress, and I'm, as an Arsenal fan, I'm like really, you know, in a way not scared, but worried for next weekend game, because we are playing Aston Villa, so it's going to be a tough game for us. But Aston Villa, I think they are looking really good, and I'm happy that I made that prediction that they are still going to finish in the Champions League, because a lot of people are saying that they are going to be in the Champions League and that's going to affect them and they are not going to be able to finish in the Champions League places. But I think they are going to do it, and with the way that they played that at the London Stadium on a Saturday, I think it is gonna happen. The next game was Brentford versus Crystal Palace. I went with a 1-1 draw between these two teams because I really couldn't separate them, but credit is due to Brentford. They played really well. They took the advantage of being at home, and their fans were really up for it, and they go on and they get the win. And I have said that they are gonna have a better season as compared to last season. They finished 16 last season. I have finishing them like around 13th or 14th in my opinion, if I'm not wrong. So I think they are going to have a better season as compared to last year, and they need wins against the team who are going to be around them, and Crystal Palace are of course one of them. It was a London derby as well, so they have won that as well. Good start to the season for Brentford. Crystal Palace, on their part, it's not like they played bad. It was a good effort for them. I think they looked really sharp as well. So as the season goes on, you will start to see how the teams are going to perform. But for the first weekend, coming off pre-season and all that sort of stuff, I think Crystal Palace looked really good, and the fans when sometimes there's a game when you see your team playing, you already know that it's gonna be a bad season. But when Crystal Palace were saying, you can see a lot of Palace fans would be like, okay, this is okay, we lost the game, but like it's not gonna be a bad season or anything like that. I don't get any points in that game as well. Moving on to the biggest game of the weekend, it was Chelsea versus Manchester City. And to be very honest, I really wanted Chelsea to win. Being an Arsenal fan, like as much as City can draw points, it's helpful for Arsenal. And I went with a 2-1 win for Manchester City. And let's be honest, if the Chelsea strikers had their finishing boots on, this game could have been a lot of different. I made a video about that as well. I think they created a lot of good chances. They should have scored at least one goal out of them, and if they had scored first, I think the things could have been different. But of course, if you are not going to take your chances against City, they are gonna they are gonna create problems for you, and that's what they did. Haaland, and then Haaland and that second goal scorer, it slipped out of my mind, and they get the win 2-0. And it is like, the thing is, they did not have Rodri, they did not have Stone, so it's not even like they had their proper full team. Chelsea, I said in my reaction video of the game as well, I think you can already see what Maresca is trying to do. He knows what players he wants to play, he knows how he wants to play. They have now gotten in João Felix has come in as well. He can play that the false striker role quite beautifully as well, so that's another advantage for them. He is already making tough decisions. He has told Raheem Sterling he doesn't want him. He has told Ben Chilwell he doesn't want it. So he is like making statements. He's being the tough guy, and I think Ted Boehly needs to give free rein to Maresca and let him make his decision. It is going to be a tough first season. I have them finishing at 9th, and I think they are going to be in that places. They are not going to challenge for Europe. I'm pretty sure about that. And I think with the way that they played, you can see that what he's trying to do, but of course it's going to take time. Manchester City, as I said, they were really not that good on that day, but of course they are missing two important players, and they still somehow managed to win the game 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. That just shows how good they are. But again, I got the team right, so I get 2 points, so I'm happy with in that regard. The last game was Leicester City versus Tottenham, and I went for a 3-0 win for Spurs because I don't think Leicester are gonna survive. I have them relegated, and the way that Spurs played, I would say like it was quite good in my opinion. It's not like they did not play. They created a lot of chances, but just like Chelsea, like they did not complete their chances. They were very bad in front of the goal, and that has costed them. And then the second half comes in, especially in the first half they made a lot of chances. Second half comes in, and Jamie Vardy comes in with his Red Bull, drinking Red Bull, and he comes out and he scores the goal, gets the equalizer. And of course it's Jamie Vardy, you cannot do anything about that. He got another chance as well. He could have won the Leicester the game if he scored that, but he was not able to. Spurs tried a lot in the second half as well, but the game ended 1-1. It was a disappointing result for Spurs, no doubt about that, because as I said, I think Leicester's squad is not good enough. I think they are going to go down, and especially with their manager Steve Cooper, I think it's going to be very tough for them to stay in the league. Ange Postecoglou, he would be very upset that his team is not able to win, because if you look at the top 5 or top 6 that you are competing against, City won, Arsenal won, Liverpool won, Villa won, Newcastle won, like all of those main teams, City, as I already mentioned, United, all of them, they are the big teams, but the only ones that basically did not win were Chelsea and Spurs, and if my predictions are to be counted, West Ham. But West Ham played Villa and Chelsea played City. Like Spurs games was the only one where they were not directly playing their direct rivals, and they were playing a very small team as compared to them. So I would say it's a 2-point stop, to be very honest, early on, and it's not a good way to start the league. So yeah, that is it. Another no points for me in this game as well. So this is the tally that I have come up with. I think I have done better in the Premier League as compared to La Liga, but I don't think I have done better I think League One till now is my best performance. We are going to see if I can top it with the Serie A predictions. I think when we do it, that video comes out tomorrow. It's the second game rounds. Second game week is starting, sorry, and there are going to be videos about all the predictions. I think starting tomorrow you are going to get that as well. So yeah, that is it for me. Like the video, share it as well, and click the notification bell. And I'm trying to get to 150 subscribers before the transfer window, and so please subscribe to the channel so you can get all the content that I push out. So that is it for me. Until next time, bye bye.